I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Claudio, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond. As we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
Hey, those of you that have watched the show on a regular basis recognize this guy, Gordon from Fort Collins.
How you doing, Terry?
Doing well. We're a long way from Fort Collins today, though.
We're a long way.
Fort Collins, you know, you come down here on a regular basis.
I do, at least 2-3 times a year.
Where we are, folks, is we're actually about 3 hours out of Cancun.
Correct.
South. We're down in the northern part of Ascension Bay.
Right, we're at the tip of Boca Playa Peninsula.
At Pesca Maya.
Correct, Pesca Maya Lodge.
And of course, Ascension Bay is famous for its bone fishing.
Permit, tarpon,
and many,
snook.
many other species that we're going to get to.
You bet.
Gordon arranged this trip. Thank you for arranging that. My first trip to Ascension Bay.
My pleasure.
And not only is there great fishing here, but we're in a jungle setting. Nice lodge. We got nice accommodations and room and meals and a chef and the whole thing, you know, and we're well taken care of. But you drive about an hour, about the last hour is a dirt road out where what they call the biosphere. And
Right.
they can't run any power lines or any communication lines out here. So the power we have is done by a generator. We do have electricity, we have running water, but we're in the middle of a biosphere, a jungle. We'll tell you more about the lodge, the biosphere tours you can take, and a lot more about the fishing. But I think what we ought to do, Gordon, is get them out in the water and show them a little bit of the famous bone fishing here in Ascension Bay.
Let's head out.
All right. We'll be back. We'll join you back here in a little bit. You know, Gordon, I stepped off the platform to decide whether to put my rain jacket on or not, handed you the rod, and immediately the guy goes, bonefish, you know, and boom, you hook up. And you know,
I planned that.
yeah. You know, one of the great things about the Ascension Bay area, though, is the numbers of fish. And people, I think, when they think about going bone fishing, they get worried about having to make 75-foot casts. And even though we've got a little wind and weather today, really, that was a pretty easy cast, wasn't it?
It was very simple. The guide put me in perfect position to cast, casting downwind slightly across.
And it was only about a 35-foot cast.
Yeah.
And really easy to flip out. And a cast that even I easily could have made if I hadn't handed the rod to Gordon. So, but you know, I think the Ascension Bay for somebody, whether you're an experienced bone fisher or the first time out, is such a great place to come to because the numbers of fish. You know, I mean, you hear about the 12-pound fish in the Bahamas and things, and there's some big fish here too. But there's so many fish here that even no matter what your level of expertise, you're going to get a chance.
I'm gonna have to step down off of here so I can
Land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right inside there.
Okay.
Just
All
makes
right.
it easy.
All right. Let's step back over to this side of me and let the people see a little bit. Now, is this a little average, below average for Ascension Bay?
Oh, just depends on where you're at in the bay. This is a nice little bonefish, probably 1.5 pounds. A little smaller than normal, but he's off.
And there he goes. But you know, the point I wanted to make with that fish was first that you stole it from me. That was supposed to be my fish. I just got in. They've been down here for a day or two ahead of me, so I got up on the platform. The rain came in and I took my rain jacket off. Here, hold the rod.
And of course it quit raining because you put your rain jacket on.
Right, and we've been fishing for about 5 or 10 minutes. So, but the real point, seriously, is that Ascension Bay is such a prolific bone fishery that you're going to come down here and you're going to get some action no matter what your skill level.
Even in inclement weather like this is not the best. We have very little sun. We're getting some sun right now, which is going to really help us be able to see the fish better.
Right, exactly.
But these guys, they can find the fish no matter what.
Well, I'm getting back up in the platform, and I may not relinquish it this time.
Okay. Finally. This one's taking me around in circles. There he goes, swimming off right there. Oh, got hit. Yeah. Little strong bonefish. There we go. Little guy, but boy, he's feisty. And slimy.
Hey, I tell you what, we'll get you back out in the water in just a minute, but we want to tell you more about this place. Gordon, it's just it's an adventure to come here.
It is. It's an adventure every day. It's a little bit different every day. You never know what the weather's going to bring.
Oh yeah, and by the way, folks, we want to mention the fact that I've only had a couple days down here, and we did have a rainy day, so that we're not going to be able to show you all the species of fish and all the things we wanted to show you because I just didn't have time, and we did get a rainy day. We caught lots of fish you're not going to get to see because we can't film on some of those rainy days, but we're going to tell them about them. We're going to get them back out in the water. But before we get back to the fishing, you come up here, we mentioned it's a biosphere up here. So there's like jungle jeep tours, there's a reef, one of the largest reefs in the world out here. There's lots to do for the non-fisherman or the fisherman that wants to take a day's break from fishing.
Yeah, a fisherman comes down, has a non-fishing companion with them. They will take them out snorkeling on the reef. They can take them back up to Tulum to see the Mayan ruins. And they'll take them out into the Boca Playa Lagoon for another sea kayak or just run them up to see different things along the coast.
Talking about the bone fishing on Ascension Bay is world famous, and the neat thing about the bone fishing here is that there are big fish, and you've caught some really big bonefish here.
We have down here. have them up to double digits.
Over 10-pound bonefish. But the great thing about Ascension Bay is there's so many bonefish that whether you're an advanced or an intermediate angler, you're going to get plenty of opportunities to catch bonefish. And along with that, Ascension Bay is one of the best places in the world to give you a shot at the famous Grand Slam, where you get a tarpon, a permit, and bonefish all in the same day. In fact, you know, usually tarpon is the hard part of that to get, but you were telling me how many how many permit did you get in one day?
4 permit, and that was probably a record.
4 permit in one day.
For me, anyhow.
And then, of course, you didn't get a Grand Slam that day, because what didn't you get, tarpon or bone?
Tarpon. I hooked 3 tarpon, lost them all.
Now, folks, there's tons of great fishing here. We're only going to get to show you little bits of it because we're limited in our time. We're concentrating on the bone fishing. Tell you what, we need to get back out in the water, show them some more fishing. I'm not sure what clips they're going to have from here. We caught several species, and we did a great amount of wading. We don't want to forget wading the flats. In addition to fishing from a boat, there's great wading flats here, just huge flats that are too shallow for the boat that are full of bones. Let's get you back out in the water. After that, we'll come back and we'll tell you how you can come down here and spend some time fishing.
Hey, coming.
Got it? Okay. Let it go. Let it go. Okay, good.
Get out of there. He's got me in the mangrove. Thank you. All right. First bonefish. First bonefish of the day. Beautiful. And there he goes.
Okay.
Broke the ice. Go into the backing. Now he comes racing back. There, he's getting tired. Ow. Dang, he hit me hard, right in the ankle. That's beauty, you show it to the camera. There we go. Another bonefish.
Okay, now. Wait, what do you think? Keep tripping, keep tripping. Got it, okay, let him go, let him go. He's not taking
Strip.
any line.
He'll run, he will. There he goes.
There we go.
Your line's all in the water in front of you, so you're okay.
Okay, he's not taking line, so.
That's all right, strip him.
Now he goes, there he goes. Now he knows he's hooked.
As soon as he sees that boat, he's gone.
Yeah, at first he wasn't taking line coming right at me, and I was afraid to let him get slack line. Felipe, you were very patient with my bad casts. I tell you what, folks, Felipe has put me on so many opportunities this morning, but we're hooking up. He's coming right at me. There he goes. There he goes. There he goes. Got him. All right. Broke the ice on my Ascension Bay bonefish, and this is numbers from here on. And they're so strong. This is not even a big bonefish. It's just a nice. I'll grab tail here. There you go. I think I got him. That's just a little one, but boy, I tell you what, they're so strong. And my first Ascension Bay bonefish, but first of many, right?
All right, congratulations.
We're breaking through, and just you know, the idea. Let's get that one back in the water. And there he goes.
There you go.
And you know, talking about the casting, Gordon, we're using 8-weight rods.
Right.
And in all honesty, a little bit of practice before you go, and that's what Gordon and I did, and you'll make most of the casts, but you're gonna make some, if you're not experienced, don't worry that you might make some bad casts. These guides are great. They have great guides here, and they will get you enough opportunities that you'll hook up with numbers of bonefish in a day, even if you're just a moderately, proficient. And that's all you need to be. And I don't cast an 8-weight rod maybe once or twice a year. Gordon went back to Gordon's shop, we practiced a little bit, and I'm making some bad casts, but I'm making enough good casts to get the fish too. So Pesca Maya, if you want to catch bonefish, and Ascension Bay is famous for the numbers of bonefish, you just won't do better, especially in an advanced fisherman, just the numbers you can catch is incredible.
It is, and you don't need to use an 8-weight. We're using an 8 today because of the wind. The wind's picking up pretty good at times, and if you were casting a 6 or a 7, the casting would be a lot more difficult. A lot of times I'll go after these bones on a calm day with a 7-weight or even a 6, and they're a lot of fun.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, Gordon, you take a turn on the platform. My feet are getting sore from standing up there in my arm. I made plenty of casts, caught some bones. Your turn.
Don't have to tell me twice.
And that's typically how you fish. You'll go 2 people to a boat, you'll take turns on the platform, and you'll help manage the line and have a good time. And you get to give the guy, when he makes a bad cast, I'll be down there to criticize him a little bit. That makes it more fun for me. Let you get up there.
Thanks.
It's time now for Terry's tackle tip of the week.
Hey, if you're planning a trip to a destination like Pesca Maya, Ascension Bay, where you're going to be doing some fly fishing in the salt, you probably own a rod like this one. This is my Elkhorn 5-weight. Probably not the best rod to take with you. You probably want to get something that's at least an 8 or 9-weight fly rod to take with you. A lot of guys will take their 6 or 7-weight, and on the calm days when it's not real windy, you can obviously handle a bonefish on a 6 or 7-weight rod. But you got to be prepared to make long casts into the wind, and it's usually going to take a heavier rod. And you might target some other species like permit or tarpon. So bring a heavier rod, one with a fighting butt, one with a line that you can punch out there. Talk to your local fly shop, go on Elkhorn's website, and they'll help you out. Another thing, make sure your fly rod is a travel type rod, so it's a little easier to carry. With the airlines nowadays, you can check it with your luggage. But another thing, besides the fly rods you want to take with you, something that I think is really important to the success of the trip and can make or break having a good time, and that's a good spinning rod. Bring a good spinning rod with you. Whether you're an expert fly fisherman or whether you don't fly fish at all these fish can actually be caught easier on spinning gear than they can on fly gear. Now what I've got here is a good size spinning reel with 20-pound Fireline crystal on it, which is the diameter of about 8-pound test, I believe. So I've got plenty of line on here. I've got a good stiff spinning rod, which is also a travel rod that breaks down. I brought with me, in addition to the spinning rod, I brought some soft plastics like Berkley Power Bait, Berkley Gulp, and some hard baits like Rapalas, original minnows, and some jointed Rapalas. And I didn't bring a lot. I just threw a small box with those type and a couple bags of plastics in. They all worked really well. Also, when one group was down with us, they were fly fishermen, but on the days when the weather was tough and hard to fly cast, they were out catching crabs, putting those crabs on good solid hooks, and they were out fishing everybody, so at least they had an option. And you may have a person in your party that doesn't fly fish, and Pesca Maya especially really will take you out and they'll focus on some of the spin fishing and may save the trip or give the person who's a non-fly fisherman a chance to do some fishing and catch some fish. In fact, I went down after dinner in the surf, cast with my spinning rod, was able to catch jacks. They've caught permit off there. So bring a good spinning rod with you too with some good line. Have your fly rod, make sure you're prepared, and go to your local fly shop. Practice your casting with your fly rod. If you don't know how to double haul, go to your fly shop, have them give you a couple lessons. It'll make the trip that much more enjoyable.
That was Terry's tackle tip for this week, and now back to more angling adventures.
I tell you what, I don't know what's better, the fishing or the way they treat you. Hey, Noah, here's our hors d'oeuvres. Ooh.
Gracias.
They take good care of you here.
That they do. Those look delicious.
I tell you what, folks, if you want to experience the excitement of Ascension Bay, you want to come down here, you know, Gordon, we'll show you the website from Pesca Maya, contact information. Do yourself a favor if you wanted to go bone fishing, if you want to try for the Grand Slam, if you want to try for all the exciting things, come on down to Pesca Maya, do some fishing, and join us next week for another angling adventure.